everybody. Come on into my studio. Sit yourself down in my chair there. I've made you a cup of tea. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you've had a lovely day. So today we're doing April the 9th, okay? And one thing that I keep forgetting to show you is the calendar page, what I do with the calendar page. What I do with the calendar page is I just stamp a little house and I write the word survived. And if I go out, so I went out, that was Sunday when I went out to the shopping, I put some sunshine. So that's a little sunshine in my life. And I know it looks the same, but I like that. So the little house comes from the emoji stamp set, which is one of the dialogue stamp sets. And I'm just going to take my black, and I do this every day. And I knew I'd forgotten to show you, so I'm just going to stamp because I'm in the house there. And then I write the word survived because it's dramatic. Do you not think it sounds dramatic? You can write whatever, but so I've been in isolation for weeks now, so I really do feel as though I've survived. So there we go, before I forget to do that again. There we are. Pop that away. So that's April the 9th. So first of all, let me say a massive thank you to all of you who left lovely, lovely comments on the videos. Honestly, it means so much to us when you do that, because it just shows that we're doing, you know, I know you're all busy. I know you're all busy and you do your page and everything, but just taking a minute to leave a comment really, really boosts me as well, because I'm here on my own, and it's just nice to see that you're enjoying what I'm doing. Okay, so today, April the 9th, let's turn the book a bit so we can get a bit flatter. There we go. Let's put this in. Did you all have lots to put in your grateful page? We must remember to be grateful. So here's my page, and today I said I was going to do some cutting out, didn't I? And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make like a little window, okay? And I'm going to use this stamp. You could just cut a window if you want, but I want to use this stamp. This stamp is, you can write in it. If you stamp it without these lines, it makes a frame. I use this a lot. It's really, really useful. I've used it as a body. And this is from the Don't, Won't, Can't set. But I'm going to stamp it straight down onto the page. Let me put it that way. I'm going to ink it up. Just make sure go right round. There we go. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to stamp it up near the top for this window. There we go. I'm just going to press down firmly. So now I've got my window and I am going to cut out the inside of this. So to cut it out, what you need is, you need a cutting mat. This, I have got lots and lots of different size ones. This is the one that I travel with. This is actually a quilter's mat, but it's absolutely fine. It's very battered is this one. I probably need a new one, but this is, so I'm gonna, this is one I travel around with. So I'm gonna pop that in there. You mustn't forget to put your mat inside, and then we're going to just use a knife. Now you can use whatever you've got. You can use a scalpel, you can use a knife, you can do anything, but I just want to show you this. This is, oh my gosh, this is my new toy and it's an absolute dream. And the brand is Kiwi, and it's for young lads from Boston, Massachusetts. And they came up with this idea. This isn't actually a scalpel. This is a holder. This is an ergonomic holder to hold your blades. They did this little box for me as well. And you can have extra blades in here, but these are quite normal blades you can use, and then this comes in, and this is great for me traveling because this is in a wooden box, okay? I hate anything where you've got to unscrew blades and you've got to snap them or anything like that. This is one of their most expensive ones. This is carved, but honestly, oh my gosh, I think this was about, I don't know, probably about $75, which is a lot. They do have lots of cheaper ones, but I fell in love with this one. And you feel, if you do a lot of cutting like I do, just to feel it's just amazing. It's got magnetic here, so you could hang it up on your board out of the way as well. And then these just lift in and out, okay? And when I'm not using that, I'm using a cheap £1.50 one, a Swan & Morton. So I don't like this because it's expensive. I love it because it's so ergonomic. When I use this one, you can see I get blisters. Look, I've got blisters there because I was doing some stuff yesterday. And I get lots of blisters, whereas this, it's an absolute dream. So just a little shout out. It's 4 guys. Cam, oh my gosh, I can't remember the other names. I'm really sorry. But if you just type Kiwi in, and as I say, they're made in Boston, and they were such lovely guys. And if you go on their website and if you buy anything, just tell them Diane sent you. You know, Diane from Dylusions. I saw them in Phoenix. I just fell in, and they were lovely boys as well. Boys, the men probably, but they were younger than my lot, so I'd call them boys, but they were really lovely. So that's what I'm going to use. Oh, sorry, just had to finish my tea there. You keep drinking yours because yours is hot. So when you cut out, you should always cut towards you. You never cut sideways, you never cut away. You should always cut towards you, okay? So I'm going to start here. Is this blade in? There we go. And to start here, and then I'm just going to come, and then I'm just going to turn the book. Can you see I'm turning it as I go? So that I'm always cutting towards me. And if you have a nice sharp blade, you should do it in one. If you don't do it in one, don't worry about it. It's not a competition. There you go. I'll put that on my pile of other things to use later on. And so then I've cut through to the opposite side. Okay? So there's my little window. So when I turn over, you're going to see parts of my writing through. And then when I do tomorrow's, I'm going to place something here. I don't know what, but I'll place something that so you can see it through the window, okay? So I'm going to pop my knife away. What I do is I just put the one I'm using underneath, and then I just pop it in there, and I'm done. So, but you could use a normal scalpel. You could even, excuse me, you could even go in and crisscross and cut it out with scissors if you wanted. But you can see there where my page is. So I've got a window there, and then I think I'm going to do some stamping today. So I've got a few different bits out because I couldn't decide. I've got some flowers. If this looks really shiny, this is how stamps get sent to me, look. They get sent with a thing on the front for me to test, because if they're not right, they go back. So I've got some flowers there. I've got the toads. Oh, that's the same. I've got the toadstools. I've got this. This might look quite nice. Going across there, and it would leave me some room to write. Or these. Actually, do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I might put some cellophane in here. Let me just get a bigger piece of card. Just had a little thunk. Just 1 minute. I do this a lot with double pages, and we can't do a double where I put I'll make a window through 2 pages, and I'll put some acetate in here and then shut it. But I don't want to waste that page, so I'm just going to ink up another one of these and stamp it. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll cut it out and then decide if I want to use it or not. I'm just going to move these, you know what I'm like, I just have to move everything out of the way. cut this out. And this is why I never have a set plan, because if I had a set plan, I'd change it anyway. So while I'm cutting this out, let's think of a store. Oops. I know the store we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Busy Scrapping in Omaha. And that's where Dina and I do back to back. We do that in October. So I'm pretty sure that will be going ahead. We've moved the Florida back to back to July, the first weekend in July. But I think by October things will be fine. And, you know, if I'm not allowed back in the country, then we'll Skype. I can do it back. Look, I'm a technical wizard now. So we can Skype. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. But, yes, so Busy Scrapping in Omaha, Nebraska. Andrea is the manager and Bev is the owner. There we go. Yeah. I might make a window with this. So let me show you, if you haven't got a knife, what you can do. Well, you'll need something to start it off. But if you made like a cross in the centre, you could take your scissors in. And then you could actually cut the centre out. It's a bit more difficult to do it in your book, but this is another way if you don't like using a knife. I much prefer a knife because it also means that I could have used this bit as well. I'm neater. I'm neater with a knife. Okay. See, now I'm having to neaten it up a bit. There we go, let's have a look. Let's pop that there. Oh, now I've got to find out which way up it is. That way. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some double-sided tape round the back of here. Okay, so I have to, because it's curved, I have to do it in a few different movements. Can I just remind you as well, if you want to join the, what's it called, the Diane Reevely Society of Art Journey, you've got to answer the questions, otherwise it won't let you in. I've noticed lately there's been loads of people wanting to join and they don't answer the questions, or they just answer one question and it won't let you in. So if that's happened to you, just go try it again. For the dialogue group, the Dylusions Dyalog and Creative Diary, which is where everybody's posting these, you don't have to answer any questions. You can just go straight in there. But the Diane Reevely Society of Art Journey, it's stricter because that is an educational page. So on that page, you have to write down all the... oh, look, I'm putting that in my scissors. You have to write down all the products that you've used. It's no good just putting Dylusions paints. You need to write down, you know, this was Pink Flamingo and blah, 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 because it is an educational page and the admins get asked constantly about stuff and they don't know. So you have to do it. And if you don't do it, your post gets removed, I'm afraid. So what I'm going to use, I just spotted this was on my desk. This was the packaging from the canvases. You remember earlier in the week, we used canvas to make a flap. So this is my little pile up here. Right over there is all stuff that I've been using. So I have the packaging left from it. So I think I might use this as a window. So I'm just going to cut, let me cut a piece. Cut this way. And then because this is double, I have to just make it single width. Okay, and then let's trim a bit here. I can actually try it on here. This will be better because I can see more. I'm just going to round the corners. Obviously it's see-through, you can't see a thing. But I'm just going to round the corners, and then I'm just checking that it doesn't overlap a little bit. It needs to just go in a little bit more. I should have maybe thought about this a bit more, but I never do. So there we go. One more little bit. Let's go this way. You just don't want to cut it too small. Oh, do you know what I should have done? This is what I should have done. I should have put this on here, because that's the inside that I've cut out. Oh. So put your inside on, and then just go round the edge. So you've got about 1/4 inch. Why didn't I think of that earlier? There we go. Okay, I'll save that bit because you never know, I might use that later, and I'll just get rid of all those bits there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that to that taped bit there. So now I've got a plastic window, okay, and then I'm just going to put a little bit more tape, just a little bit more tape wherever the plastic is on. If the plastic has covered the tape, I just need to put some extra tape on. I think I need some here. I don't need to go everywhere with it because some of the plastic is still, hasn't covered it. So there we go. That'll do me. And let's take the back off. And now we just have to get it the right way up. Okay. Which way up was it? Oh my gosh, I got it right first time. Good grief. Sorry, I'm just going to clip this back. Oh no, I flipped it. Oh, I've got it wrong again now. Oh, Diane. There we go. So I am just going to position it on. There we go. Okay, so now we've made a window that's actually got a some sort of acetate in, and then I'm just going to draw around that to make it embed onto the page like I normally do. Okay, and then what did I decide? Do you know, I think I'm going to go with these. And do you know the reason I'm going to go with these? Because they're black and white, so I don't have to colour them, and they match what's over here. So I'm going to stamp those, I think. Ink pad. And normally I would just go and pick these from my stash, but I'm doing what I think you will be doing at home. These, by the way, this is from the set called Stripy Curlicues. Okay. And I need two. I need to stamp this out twice. There's a lot of black on this, so really press down and make sure you get a really nice print. You don't want any half-assed, wishy-washy prints when you've got a lot of black. Okay, so really press firmly. Press that down. Give the ink time to absorb into the paper. I love these curlicues. I do them as hair, I do them as all sorts. And it's much quicker for me to stamp them and use them than it is to doodle them. Again, can you see I just leave a little border all the way round when I'm cutting out stamped images, not collage images, but stamped images. See how much it's much easier if you just turn the card. And then I've got to get in these little bits in here. So the way I do that is I just choose somewhere where you're not going to see it as much. So I'm just going to go along that black. Can you see where I've gone along there? And then I will cut that out in there. Do I go through every little bit? No, I don't. But if it's a big piece like this and it's quite obvious, then yes, I do. There's a little bit in there. Again, I'll go up in that one. And there's this bit here. You might not be as fussy as me. I just like to. So, I could have this here. And then we could have some smaller bits over here. Yes, so I'm just going to cut that part of it. Yeah, so I'm actually going to cut this bit off. I'll save that one for something else. That pile. Yep. I don't think I need. I think that one will just go like that actually. On the end of the page. You could put mushrooms in here, you could put flowers in here, whatever you want. And I think a window is good for these times because that's where most of us are living our life, through a window. You know, our view of the outside world is only what we can see out. We're just observers. We're just observing everything else that is happening. There we go. Because it's nice to have them different widths. Now again here, this is coming over, so I want to cut it down. I'm going to go with there. And when I want to do something straight, I go for the bigger scissors. So if I want to come from there, the bigger scissors will cut a straight line. Oh, that's dropped off. I might need that. Where did that bit drop off from? I don't think I need it actually. It's, oh, I know. There it is. It went in there. Marvellous. Yes, I'm going to stick that down. Okay. So I'm going to glue it. So I'm going to glue the big piece here. And you can either do it on the back of this piece or you can do it on your page. But where this is going to be stuck down, if you're feeling a bit that way out, I'm just going to write some swear words in there. It's great to hide bad words or your feelings. There you go. You see, written it there. Oh, and look, this is just going to completely hide it, so nobody will know what was under there. Perfect. Let's stick this little bit down here. Yeah, and then I've let it hang over the bottom, so I'm just, whoops, going to trim the bottom of the page. And then I've got this to go in here. So if you're unsure about doing it on your page, here. You can write it on the back, oops, you can write it on the back of your stamp, and you'd be amazed how many times I do this. So when I die, people will be collecting my journals and ripping everything off to see what bad words I've put in. There we go. Always ways of getting your feelings out. Okay, so let's press that down and then let's outline them. Oh, look, you see what a pretty page. Nobody knows what I wrote underneath. There we go. And if you're bothered about searching, you can see with this little bits of white here, if you pick a pale colour of the water brushes, and I'm going to explain this again. I've explained it, I don't know how many times, but I'll explain it again. These are the Tim Holtz water brushes filled with my spray inks. I can't find rose quartz. Where is rose quartz? I just want the pale pink. There it is. And so you can go in and you can just add, and that's just like a little trick of the eye, and it just tricks you into thinking. So if you can't be bothered to cut anything out, you can just add, and it just tricks you into thinking there's a little bit down here. Oops, as well. Okay, so what shall I write today? Do I want to quote? I'm not not sure if I want that. I want to say something about the window. What do I want to say? How about it's never too late to make things worse? Because that's what some people are doing, isn't it? They're just... No, I'm going to write. I'm going to write something. So what do I want to write? I might just put my daily outlook, actually. I think I'm just going to write that. So let's have a look. Outlook will go down here. And then my and daily. Yeah. And I have to tell you, there's not a lot goes on in my street, so I don't have much to look out on. So my daily. Outlook. Okay. And then when that's dry, it's not quite dry, give it a pat. I'm just going to rub out. Oh, I know what I forgot to tell you as well. I'm not going to be able to make the weekend at Stampers Anonymous that was supposed to be the beginning of May. So if you booked on that weekend, I'd totally forgotten actually, but if you booked on that weekend, that's going to have to be cancelled. So you can either, it's up to you, you can either leave the money in and we'll book, you know, you can use it towards the next one, or if you contact Ranger, they will refund the money for you. Don't contact Stampers Anonymous because it doesn't go through them. It goes through Ranger. Where you booked it is where you need to contact. Okay, so there's my daily outlook. Let's put the stenciling in because you just know I have got to doodle. Oh, this is fancy floor under there. That's the fancy floor stencil. Okay. And then I think I'm going to write down here. I'm going to put my only view of the world is through a window. That's the way to stay safe until this awful virus ends. Okay, so I've just written up and I've written round there. I'll probably go back and put the dots in, but in fact I will. That's me probably. You just know I will, won't you? You know I've got to faff and do that. And then I just need to colour. And I'm just going to colour the frame, that's all. But the frame is looking a little bit wishy-washy next to this nice writing, so I might just have to draw round the frame again. Oh, I just think you missed. I moved my chair then, I'm really sorry. I think you only got my bust. Sorry about that. I'll maybe have to go back and look at that. Jay will be, oh, how am I supposed to edit that out? Here we go. Virus ends. There we go. So yeah, I'm feeling that this is a bit, it doesn't look as black. So I'm just going to take my pen and I'm just going to trace round the actual design. There we go. And then I'm just going to fill these in a bit more. Can you see how that's making it stand out more? I'm never bothered if it doesn't stamp correctly because I'm happy as Larry to go in and re-doodle. Poor Jay, it takes her about 3 hours to edit these, to piece them all back together. She has to shorten them, she has to crop out my bust, she has to crop out my head. Bless. So on the next video, can you put in the comments, thanks Jay, thank you. And then a big thank you to Emmy who posts them every day, because I would forget. I'd be like, what? Well, I did them. Have they not gone up? And they help monitor all the comments and things like that as well. So that's Jay and Emmy. We have real family businesses. So both girls, Jay and Emmy, work in the Diane Reevely business, in the Dylusions, and Ben is my business partner in Art from the Heart. Not that I do a lot, I'm a sleeping partner because I'm usually never home. He's, I think I've frightened him because I'm home. I think he's frightened I might go back up to work. I'm like, oh no, I won't. He runs that brilliantly. So the three of them work in the business with me, the different businesses. And Tom is a joiner in America, that's a carpenter, and he actually built my studio. So they've all helped. It's a real family thing, and that's what it's always was set out to be. It was never meant to be a big business or anything like that. It was just meant to be something that I could do with the family. So hopefully this virus doesn't last and I can get back out on the road teaching, because I've all the wages to pay. So, and teaching is what is my income. So we'll see. But I'm enjoying this. I am having fun doing this. I mean, I do this anyway. I do dailies. If you've ever been to my classes, you've seen them, you know, and I've taught dailies. I've taught how to do this. Well, mainly it's you have to set the book up because it's hard. I can't obviously come to your class every day. That M wants to be a bit bigger. There we go. But I would be doing this anyways. I don't do it every day. Sometimes I will do maybe 3 days at once. You know, I'll work backwards or something like that. Depends where I am in the world. Depends if I'm in a hotel or if I'm in my office or something like that. So I think I'm going to need to move this camera again tomorrow because the angle is totally wrong. Every time I come in, the angle's different because somebody said to me, well, why don't you just leave it there? Because it's my phone. I have to use my phone. I think some people think you're just this big operation, you know, that there's loads of us. And there's just me down here in my little studio. Mr. Boo Boo is in charge of lights, but he seems to have disappeared for the day. So I'm not sure what's happening. There we go. All I can say is I'm doing my best. And that's all anybody can do, isn't it? There we go. Am I going to put a date on there? I suppose I could fit one there, so I could put the 9th. I don't always put every day because to me it's obvious if that was the 8th, this is the 9th. But seeing as we're documenting this together, why not? I'll just do it in plain black. Go, there's the number 9, and then I shall write in the TH, so it's 9th. Tidy, tidy, tidy. And then I'm just going to colour in the frame. I'm not going to colour these, I like these in black and white, but I'm going to colour the frame, and I think I'm going to colour the frame in blue to match, or no, green. I'm going to do it in the green, the Island Parrot, to match this page over here. So this is just the Island Parrot ink. And you see how I turn the book rather than trying to struggle with my arm. I see people trying to do this. It's just turn the book. You're allowed, you know. The turning book police are really, really busy at the moment. So you're not going to get into trouble for that. All the links should be underneath the video. There's links to all the Facebook pages, links to my blog, links to the Etsy if you'd like to go and buy a print. There's some prints on there, there's some postcards on there, and there's also some one-of-a-kind altered cabinet cards on there. I don't know, now I might want to colour it. But anyway, the prints will be there, and subscribe. And also somebody said yesterday, if you ring the bell, something happens. I don't know what they're talking about, but you lot are more savvy than me. So if you go ring the bell, apparently it notifies you when a new video is up, I think. But I don't know. I get a little confused. And it's no good. Oh, this is better. Yeah, I'm just going to put every other one. And don't bother explaining it to me because I still won't understand it. Sorry about that. You see, I'm just colouring in every other one. I still want some of that white there. Oh, I've done 2 together by mistake. Yeah, that little bit of colour just worked. Sometimes I'll just leave them blank, but in this instance, sorry, this was the right decision. Oh, we love a good tuneless whistle. My granddad used to whistle really tunelessly, and it drove us mad. So I'm sorry if that drove you mad. There, like that. That's better. Okay, so there is today's page. It's my daily outlook. It's outside the window, so I've got a little window in there. Tomorrow's a double. I might even do a double. I might make Friday a double page, and then we'll add something else around this window as well. Okay, see you then. Bye.